Hey, so in this lecture, we're going to look at making sure that the air you're breathing is better for you, right? Lots of respiratory issues in the world today caused by allergens or just stuff in the air around us, and you cannot run away from the air that you're breathing, right? You just can't do it. There are currently no smart air purifiers available, so what we're going to do is we're going to combine one of the room sensors and a smart plug with an analog air purifier. And we're going to show you how to create some automation so that if your air quality drops below a certain point, then you're automatically going to turn the plug on. The air purifier is going to come on. Your air is going to get cleaned. There we go, right? Nice. Your air purifier isn't on all day long, which is nice. You're not wasting that electricity. You're only using it when you need it. Let's take a look.
So just so we're all clear on what I mean by an analog purifier, if you look at this Honeywell here, I picked this up for about $100. You can see it's got a mechanical switch that if I was to plug this in, it would immediately turn on. That's what we need to make this work, is something that'll turn on as soon as the power is turned on. What you may get with some other models, the digital models that look like these fancy displays and all that, it's great, but chances are you actually have to push the power button on to turn them on, and that's not going to work with this kind of an automation. It needs to be analog. Before we get started in actually setting this up, I want to just go through exactly what we want to accomplish here, which is when the air quality drops beneath a certain point, we want an action to occur. And what we want to happen is we want the plug to turn on. So this is the plug that your analog air purifier is going to be plugged into. So as soon as power is applied, the plug is going to, of course, apply power to the air purifier, and the air purifier will start working. And if we want to, at the end of this, in addition to the air quality drops, we can create another animation that will turn it back off once our air gets to a certain point, whether that's an excellent quality or really that's up to you. Okay, so again, that's the way this is going to work out, the event and the action. Let's go over to the iPad and take a look. So as you may recall, I did say that there are some sensors that are not exposed in the Apple Native Home app. And the air quality, that's one of them. We can't see that within the Apple Native app. So we could go over to the third-party vendor. In my case, that would be the Elgato Eve app to be able to do this. But I'm going to use that third-party home app with the same, unfortunately, the same name as the Apple Native app to set this up. So you may be tempted to go in and create a trigger or automation right away, right? But what did we say? We said that you want to create a scene first. So the scene is what you want to enact. And that's really important for the troubleshooting later when you're trying to figure out why your house is doing these crazy things that it's doing. So we're going to create our first scene, which is the turn air purifier on. So you can see that was created. And we're actually going to create a negative scene here to turn the air purifier off. There's no way to automatically turn it off or reversal within HomeKit in iOS 10. So we're going to go down and we're going to look at the outlet that we want. So we can see the outlet one here. That's the one I'm going to choose. And I'm going to click on the power state. There we go. Outlet is in use. Yes. Okay. And I can associate it with, in my case, I'll associate it with a fan. The purifier has kind of a fan thing going on, so I want to see if the fan is there. There we go. So now I can see that this scene, so the icon has changed to a fan. This scene is going to activate in a power state of on. Right now, oh, I realized I'm actually in the power purifier off, so I want to make sure this is off. There we go. See, everybody makes mistakes, and that's okay. Right? You'll get used to this. You'll figure these out and start troubleshooting these a little bit, get used to how your house wants to react. Now we're going to go in and do the air purifier on. So power state. There we go. We want the power state to be on. I've selected that as a characteristic that I want to have this scene play around with. So now it's turned on, outlet in use. The fan is already configured as a fan because I've configured that in the other in the power air quality power on. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to go and create this trigger, and I'm going to say, okay, my bad air quality, if it falls below fair, or if it falls to fair, I want to turn the air purifier on. So if my air quality in the bedroom where I'm going to be putting this turns to fair, the air purifier turns on. All right, so it's pretty easy to understand and then I click on the enable trigger button, and away we go. Now we're good. So I'm going to add a secondary trigger for an event, and I'm going to say good air quality. Good trigger. There we go. So the good air trigger, and I am going to use the event characteristic. I'm going to scroll down to find, again, the Elgato air quality detector, which is currently in the master bedroom. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say when it is excellent. So there we are. Now we're done there. We've turned Purifier off when it gets to a certain level. So turn it on when it gets to a certain level, turn it off when it gets to a certain level, right? So now we're going to flip back over to the native home app and see what we can see here. So we're going to go look at the triggers. And funny enough, we can now see when the master bedroom Eve sensor changes. Right, now it's accessible to me. So this is one of the things that's really kind of strange about HomeKit and about the Apple native home app. But it is what it is, right? So let's just get along with it and deal with that, right? Maybe iOS 11 will make this better. So anyways, this is how you would set this up. Okay, so you can now see that they're here within your native HomeKit. I wouldn't mess around with them in the Apple native app too much because you might disable your automations.